Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So as we all know, election season is pretty much in full force, and I got this one from Business Insider. A JP Morgan strategist predicts Joe Biden will drop out of the 2024 race. Interesting, and hopefully it doesn't happen. Got another story over here about the Missouri state senator who files a bill to remove Joe Biden from the 2024 election. Looks like they might be preparing us for a possible replacement Democrat nominee. Now, how that'll come to pass is still yet to be determined, but let's just check this article out and find out more. President Joe Biden may not be on November's ballot papers, says JP Morgan asset management strategist Michael Symbolist. Symbolist predicted Biden would drop out of the race sometime between Super Tuesday and the November election, citing health reasons. Super Tuesday is set for March 5th, with 16 states and territories holding their primaries and caucuses on that day. Symbolist wrote Biden would then be replaced by a candidate named by the Democratic National Committee. This hypothetical scenario, he's predicting that voters won't even vote for the replacement candidate. It'll just be a person that's named by the Democrat National Committee. Kind of reminds me of what happened in 2016, allegedly, with the Hillary beating Bernie, right? And I'm glad that worked out for Trump. Top 10 possible surprises for 2024. Symbolist list was published in JP Morgan's Asset Management Eye on the Market Outlook on January 1st. Biden has a low approval rating for a president with 10% job creation since his inauguration, although that figure is the byproduct of his inauguration coinciding with the rollout of COVID vaccines and the reopening of the U.S. economy, Symbolist wrote. In April, Biden announced his re-election bid and urged voters to let him finish the job that he started of ruining the country, allowing the 10,000 plus illegal immigrants into our country per day, many of which are going to California, who now is going to pay for migrants' gender reaffirming surgery and as well as throwing them on Medicaid, right? So if you're a California taxpayer, you might want to dip out of there as soon as possible, especially if you're voting Republican, because your vote is a waste and your money is being wasted. The 81-year-old has framed himself as the best candidate to defeat former President Donald Trump and safeguard American democracy. Now, I want to point out something here real quick. When they talk about American democracy, they're not talking about America's republic. They're not talking to you if you love the Constitution and the way that America is designed as a group of states that all agree to be under one nation, under the flag, right? But here, let me just show you an example. Pull up this tweet here from Tim Pool. They aren't wrong. When they say democracy, they're talking about their mind virus taking control of the system. Exactly. And this was a repost from End Wokeness that highlights elections are bad for democracy. And this other one, 2024 is the year of elections, and that is a threat to democracy. More than 40% of the global population will be voting this year and will have a 10% chance everything will go well. When they say our democracy, they're talking about their democracy. They're not talking about America's constitutional republic. So keep that in mind next time you hear them say that. Our democracy, right? But let's get back to the article. Quote, America, as we begin the election year, we must be clear. Democracy is on the ballot. Your freedom is on the ballot, Joe Biden said in a speech in Pennsylvania on Friday. So that's, like I said, they're talking about their democracy, what they're using to replace our constitutional republic. However, concerns over Biden's low approval ratings and advanced age have plagued his campaign. Recent polls suggest that 2024 will be a tight rematch between Biden and Trump. Well, Trump is actually beating Biden in pretty much every poll that's going around right now. And there's plenty of time for that to change. But currently, Trump is the front runner to win 2024. So it only makes sense that the current president and regime be replaced via the 2024 election. Trump is the front runner to be the candidate. And everybody agrees that Trump is going to get the Republican nomination. Now, there's still stuff to be dealt with in the Supreme Court when it comes to Trump's name being removed from the ballot in Colorado and Maine and some other states. But hopefully truth will prevail in that they're citing the 14th Amendment. Trump's never been convicted of insurrection, let alone even charged with insurrection. Everybody knows that if that goes to court, is going to get laughed out of there. Trump obviously said go home peacefully, march peacefully. There's no indication of insurrection in anything that Trump has done or in anything that really happened. We've all seen the J6 tapes now. But Biden has brushed aside comments on his age, saying that it's an asset for his candidacy. I mean, you can say that, but that makes no sense to me. Sure, with age comes wisdom, but, he's on that decline. Everybody's been accusing him of sunsetting since he was running in 2019, before he was even elected. I've acquired a hell of a lot of wisdom and know more than the vast majority of people, and I'm more experienced than anybody that's ever run for president, Biden told MSNBC in May. And, he's made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I don't think he's actually learned from those mistakes, so I doubt I can call it wisdom. But anyways, David Axelrod, who advised President Barack Obama on his national campaigns, raised questions about Biden's candidacy in November. If he continues to run, he will be the nominee of the Democratic Party. What he needs to decide is whether that is wise. Whether it's his best interest or the country's, Axelrod wrote on X. Well, it's not his or the country's best interest, to be honest. Everybody knows, and I'm saying that a lot because it's really common sense. Look at any president over the past history. When they get elected, they look young. When they finish their term, they look old and ragged. And it's a busy, tedious job, or at least it's supposed to be. Biden calls lids on everything at noon and barely shows up. And when he does show up, he pees his pants and starts misspeaking and makes himself look bad constantly over and over again, which is another reason why he's not fit to be president and therefore should be replaced via the election. Now, replacing him before the election, whether it's Republicans impeaching him or him bowing out for health reasons or whatever, I think would make the job a little bit more difficult for Trump to win. I don't know. So, in my opinion, I would prefer Biden finish the year and then get replaced via the 2024 election. But let's just continue. If his decision is no, I'm the best person to take this on, then he will. Okay. Axelrod said, it is unclear who would take over from Biden if he does drop out. Well, I would guess it would be Gavin Newsom, even though he said in the weird, pointless debate with Ron DeSantis, he said that neither of us are going to be on the ticket, but you never know, right? Vice President Kamala Harris told 60 Minutes in October that she wouldn't engage in that hypothetical when asked. But Kamala Harris wants it so bad. She's been basically the DEI face of vice president, which she's clueless to, like most other things, but she obviously thinks she deserves it. Joe Biden is very much alive and running for re-election, Harris told 60 Minutes' Bill Whitaker. What a curious choice of words to say. He's very much alive? Okay. And Governor Gavin Newsom of California, another prominent Democratic Party figure, has repeatedly rejected speculation that he may run. No, not happening. No, not at all, Newsom said in September 22nd at the Texas Tribune Festival. So I don't know. What do you think? Should Biden be impeached? Should Biden be removed? Or should we let him, hopefully, I say we let him, but should America let him ride it out to the 2024 election with hopes that Trump can defeat him and that the election will be upstanding, if that makes sense? But in my opinion, I think that whoever wins is probably going to face the most opposition that we've seen in a candidate in history. Dare I say, and I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. But the way that it's been going the last two elections, it only seems to ramp up and get worse and worse and worse. And one thing I know is Democrats are sore losers and they can't handle a loss. They've never competed in a sport. They've never accepted in their life. They've never felt defeat in their life, so they don't know how to handle it. And if you agree with that, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.